After a pandemic-stricken 2020, the Indianapolis 500 is back home again in its traditional May time slot, and the 105th running may be truly something special. The 500 field this year is not only the closest field in history, but it's the fastest field in history. For the first time ever, the field averaged over 230 miles per hour. This is also one of the most experienced fields the Indy 500 has ever seen. There are 9 former winners, the most since 1992, which had 10, and only 2 rookies, and those 2 rookies bring a vast wealth of racing experience. So, let's take a look at the fabulous 33 that will take the green flag, accepting a 500-mile challenge to immortality. Leading the field to green is without a doubt the greatest IndyCar driver of this era, Scott Dixon, only 1 win away on the all-time IndyCar win list from tying the great Mario Andretti. However, Dixon only has 1 Indianapolis 500 win, that coming in 2008. He very nearly won last year, dominating the race, but got outdueled late by Takuma Sato. He's looking to rectify that issue this year. Starting in the center is the young American superstar Colton Herta. At 21 years old, is looking to become the youngest winner of the Indianapolis 500. He's already a race winner this year, winning at the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. The last time the number 26 for Andretti Autosport won that particular race, it also won the Indianapolis 500 in the hands of the legendary Dan Wheldon. And starting on the outside, the fastest Chevrolet-powered car in the field is the Flying Dutchman, Rinus VeeKay, who's looking to take his Bitcoin sponsorship to the moon. The last time a Dutch driver started on the outside of the front row, he won. It was Arie Luyendyk back in 1990, also Chevrolet-powered. Inside row 2 is local favorite Ed Carpenter. A driver from Indiana has not won the Indianapolis 500 since the 1930s. Ed's looking to change that. Starting in the center is another fan favorite, Brazilian Tony Kanaan, with his best shot in an Indianapolis 500 in years, driving the car regularly driven in the IndyCar Series by 7-time NASCAR champion Jimmie Johnson. You know TK's not going to let this opportunity slide without a fight. And starting on the outside, yet another young superstar, the pride of Spain, in his first Indianapolis 500 for Chip Ganassi Racing, Alex Palou, who scored in his very first race for Chip Ganassi Racing earlier this year at Barber Motorsports Park. Row 3 inside is 2014 winner Ryan Hunter-Reay, who's been quietly fast all month. He looks for his second Indianapolis 500 win. Helio Castroneves, for the first time starting in the center of row number 3, is not racing for Team Penske. This year, he pursues his 4th Indianapolis 500 win for Meyer Shank Racing, a team with the support of Andretti Autosport behind them. And on the outside, bringing Formula One experience to his second year at Chip Ganassi Racing, Marcus Ericsson. Row 4, starting on the inside, is 2016 winner Alexander Rossi, a driver that you know is going to be charging towards the front. In the center is Ed Jones, returning after a year's absence and has found himself in the car that placed 4th in the race last year. And on the outside is the leading driver for Arrow McLaren SP, Pato O'Ward, who's already scored a win this year and already scored a win on an oval track at Texas Motor Speedway. The young Mexican was the Rookie of the Year in the 500 last year and is looking to translate that into a win this year. Inside row 5 is the first Fittipaldi to start the race since 1995. Grandson of the great 2-time winner Emerson Fittipaldi, Pietro Fittipaldi has had an interesting career which has taken him from Hickory Speedway in North Carolina all the way up to the top of Formula One. He now finds himself in the Indianapolis 500 as the fastest qualified rookie for Dale Coyne Racing and could be a threat as the race concludes. In the center is Felix Rosenqvist, who moves from the Ganassi team last year to Arrow McLaren SP. He's got something to prove. And on the outside is the defending winner of the Indianapolis 500 and the pride of Japan, Takuma Sato, looking to become the first repeat winner in the Indianapolis 500 since Elio Castroneves did it in 2001 and 2002. Row 6 inside is the popular Canadian James Hinchcliffe, who returns to Andretti Autosport for the second year in a row. In the center, his car number matches his number of Supercars championships. Moving over for the first time this year to IndyCar racing, it's New Zealand's Scott McLaughlin, the fastest Team Penske car in the field. And on the outside, he finished third in the race last year. That's the same position Takuma Sato finished in 2019, and he went on to win. Graham Rahal, a second-generation driver, is looking to become a second-generation winner of the Indianapolis 500. His father, Bobby, won the race all the way back in 1986. Row 7 inside is Airman Connor Daly, who's representing with his Air Force sponsorship the Tuskegee Airmen. In the center is Jack Harvey, who's been starstruck with mechanical issues all month, but shouldn't be counted out for victory. He's out to prove that Meyershank Racing truly is a top team in IndyCar racing. And on the outside is Joseph Newgarden, still searching for his first Indianapolis 500 win. Of course, he drives for the captain, Roger Penske. Starting on the inside of row 8 is the always quick at Indianapolis J.R. Hildebrand, this year driving for A.J. Foyt Racing in a throwback to A.J.'s very first win back in 1961. Starting in the center is a driver who certainly should not be underestimated as a victory contender, Santino Ferrucci, who finished fourth in the race last year and has moved over to the powerhouse Rahal Letterman Lanigan team, which won the race last year. And on the outside, also looking to join the three-time Winners Club, is Juan Pablo Montoya, returning once again to the Indianapolis 500, this time with the Arrow McLaren SP team. Believe it or not, row number 9 is actually the most experienced row in the field. Starting on the inside is the driver who qualified on the pole position last year but didn't lead a single lap, Marco Andretti. He's looking to change that this year. Starting in the center is 2019 winner of the Indianapolis 500, Simon Pagenaud, who's got a long road ahead of him, starting deep in the field to get up to the front and get his second Indianapolis 500 win. And on the outside, returning after a year's absence, this year racing for A.J. Foyt Racing is Sebastian Bourdais, still looking to add the Borg-Warner Trophy to his 4 Champ Car championships. Starting inside row 10 is the hard-working man, Stephen Wilson, who has found himself right back where he left the Indianapolis 500 in the number 25 for Andretti Autosport. On that fateful day in 2018, he and the team nearly fuel mileaged away to steal the Indianapolis 500 win. If you're looking for a Cinderella winner, hey, maybe pick Stephen Wilson. Starting in the center is Max Chilton, the lone representative for the Carlin Racing Team this year, and actually looked quite fast in practice. We'll have to see if that translates to the race. And Dalton Kellett certainly had an interesting road into the Indianapolis 500 field. Working some bump day magic, or perhaps luck, Kellett managed to withdraw a faster qualifying speed and run slower, but still make the show with the slowest speed in the field because he prevented his rivals from making any kind of a counterattack. In his second Indianapolis 500, Kellett will be looking for some of that magic in the race. And the final row, row 11, Sage Karam, starting on the inside in the same position he has started the last 2 years. And in fact, this is the third year in a row Karam has started in the last row. However, he's usually pretty good in the race. Starting in the center is a surprise in the final row. 2018 winner of the Indianapolis 500, Will Power, had to muster everything he had, including even touching the wall on his final lap of qualifying to make this year's Indianapolis 500. There's a reason there's no locked-in starters for the Indianapolis 500, and Will have a major hill to climb to get his second Indianapolis 500 win. And starting on the outside, returning after a several-year absence, is Simona Di Silvestro. With the help of the Penske organization, Simona brings the first majority female team to the Indianapolis 500 and just managed to squeak in the field on the final day of qualifying. So that's the field for the 105th running of the Indianapolis 500. This is an extremely exciting time. This video is one of my favorite to make in the entire year. If you enjoyed it, let me know down in the comments and let me know your predictions for this year's Indianapolis 500. Who's going to win? Who's going to do bad? Who's going to surprise? I want to hear it all. We're very close. It's almost Christmas morning. The Indianapolis 500 back in May. Couldn't be more excited. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube, and I will see you in the next video.